Okay, now we plane it down to be parallel, this edge to be parallel with this edge at 3 inches. So now we're ready to start cutting the mortises. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer over, I'm going to put it on here like this, and then just transfer over the marks. Simple as that. Here's a tip of the day. If you don't have to measure, don't measure. Measuring is a great way of putting error into your project. At all possible, mark off an existing part. So that's right here. So good for us. All right. So line it up where I want it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a reference mark on here like that. That tells me that it's these two faces that get glued together. Now I don't have to think. Okay, put this off to the side. I'll get a square, and we'll make a mark off of this face on down. Oops. Okay, those knife walls are going to be coming real handy here in a second. These X's mark where I want the it's a waist side. I'm going to be cutting inside those marks. I don't want to be cut on the other side. Okay, now we need to set our depth. Our depth is 3/8 of an inch because these mortises are 3/4 of an inch. So half of 3/4 is 3/8. If you don't have a marking gauge, you ought to get yourself a marking gauge. Makes life a lot easier. There we go. Get our knife back and just grab a line down to our 3/8 of an inch mark. What these knife cuts do, as well as mark, where you want to make your cuts and things, what it does also is it lessens your chance of tear out. As you use the saw or use a chisel, whatever you're using, it lessens the chance of blowing out the wood. So it's always nice, it's always a good idea to use a knife. Pencils, well, not so much. Yeah, this is another problem with using construction grade lumber, is I've got this knot that ended up just in the right spot to make my life miserable. But we'll get through it. Okay, what I want to do is I want to establish right here in my line, I want to cut a trough with a chisel. And what that will do is it'll make it easier for my saw to cut to that line. go. Alright, we'll call that good. Grab my 10 saw, and we can just cut down to our line. Yep, looks good. Nice thing about this project is there's a lot of joinery that you can practice, and it's just a saw bench. It's not a piece of furniture. Get this stuff down now. Make your mistakes on a project like this, and you'll have it figured out for the next project that's a real piece of furniture. Alright, so now we have to just do what we can to clean out that all this wood here. You could take your saw and cut kerfs in here and chop them out. If you had a router plane, you can hog most of it out and then finish it up with a router plane. I don't have one just yet, but I will soon. But I think what we're going to do is just use one of my larger chisels and just bang it out. I'm also only going to go from one side, and then I'm going to go from the other side. Not trying to go all the way through at one time. Right now I'm just going to get close.